Hi, Val.
Hello there. How you
Hello there.
doing?
How you doing? I'm doing well. How about you?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah. I'm just turning down my speaker a little bit.
Pretty hard to get people showing up for this, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting harder.
Yeah.
Uh, we had about, I don't know, six last time. Um, and some of them like Dave Brock didn't stay on too long.
Yeah.
He's in bad shape.
Yeah, he looks pretty rough. I watched the video that you
Yeah,
did from last time,
yeah,
so
yeah. Well,
yeah.
I figured I'd go ahead and include him in on it. He didn't, like I say, he didn't stay on too long, but
Yeah.
uh,
Well, I'm leaving for Texas in the morning, so I'll have to finish packing this stuff. So I wanted to,
yeah,
because it's been a few months since I've been on. I figured I better show up,
yeah.
or you guys will think I abandoned you.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you stopping in. It's
Not a problem.
yeah, there's some of the guys, I've been trying to get Burrell and some of the others, Stebbins and so forth to, come back, but they just haven't responded. And I guess,
Yeah,
it's
Even Tom Ben hasn't been on for quite a while, has he? Or
no,
I mean Tom Parker.
yeah, no, Tom hasn't been around for a little while.
Yeah.
Uh, I thought at one point Dan Ulmer was going to come back, and he was going to come back, and then that day, and this is several months ago. Um, that day, I don't know whether he had a relapse or something, but um, he didn't. I didn't hear back from him. He was going to join, and I didn't hear back from him, and haven't heard from him since.
Hmm. So what's Dave Brock have that's ruining his health?
Who?
Dave
Dan?
Brock. Brock.
Dave?
Yeah.
Uh, I think it's circulatory up to concern because the hospital bed, and he has the pulsars or whatever you want to call them on his both of his legs for the circulation.
Uh,
Uh, and I think they're concerned about a clot coming up to his heart,
oh, yeah. Yeah.
and so that's what he is. And he was on for a little while before, I trimmed the first part of it. Um, Here comes Jeanette,
Yeah, right.
uh, and
He's still in disguise.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There we are. There he is,
Hello there.
Hey, good evening, guys.
Yep.
Herb. So
What's new, wonderful, exciting, and different?
yes, that's right.
All of the above?
All the
Yeah.
above.
Yeah, we're
Well, Val is there.
wonderful, we're different.
Yeah.
Good evening, guys.
I heard.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I don't know whether Pete is going to be with us or not. He wasn't the last time. He had another health scare, and he was at a charity function, and he passed out. And when I heard from him right after that, he said they thought maybe he was going to need a pacemaker
Mm.
in his heart. But I just got an email from him yesterday saying, no, false start. They think it could have been due to a shot he had had earlier in the day, or that he was dehydrated, or any number of things. But he'd been checked out and everything's fine.
Yeah, that
So I'm
dehydration
hoping.
will do a lot of ugly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Gary, you know what it is, don't you?
But
Twice you and I have been scheduled to go have lunch with Pete, and the day before he's had a problem.
Maybe he's thinking he has to buy.
Yeah,
That's what I was going to say, the same thing that he has to treat.
Yeah.
I have a couple friends that have been having trouble not drinking enough water.
Yeah.
And my cousin did that, and nobody could figure out what was going on. She was
yeah,
just flat dehydrated.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
That's
she'd be
huge.
absolutely fine, and then all of a sudden you'd say they were off sleeping.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That
And
happens a lot.
eventually she did get a defibrillator, but that's other problems.
yeah. Well, they said Pete didn't. Pete said he didn't need anything else. So we'll try and schedule him
He's
again.
too young for all this stuff.
Pardon?
He's too young for all this stuff.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Gramps.
I'm the young one around here.
yeah. So,
How old are you?
I'll be 75 in January.
oh, you're a kid.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a young one.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Herb might be. Herb, how
Me,
old are you?
78.
Okay,
You're
me too.
78?
Yeah.
So am I. I
Yeah.
guess Gary's the old man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're what, 8, 9 years older than me or Gary?
September I was 80.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Time,
Wow.
how time flies.
But
Yeah,
it
when
is
we were
something I
kids,
aspire to.
somebody 80, you thought they were real old. But now as you get up there, it's not that old.
You're right. You're right.
Until you look at the obituaries in the paper, then you know there's
Yeah.
As long as
there's
my
such a
name's
range.
not
There's
there,
such
I
a
don't care.
range. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as
So,
my name's not there, doesn't bother me.
yeah.
That's what I used to do.
Yeah.
Look in the
Yeah.
paper every day, and if my name was there, I wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
Good,
Well,
good thought.
So you're
I might
still
claim I
working,
was at
Herb.
work to get paid anyway.
Yeah,
Mm. So what's new with you guys?
nothing, pretty quiet.
Val, what you been up to?
I'm headed to Texas in the morning, see my son and his crew.
Yeah. Whereabouts?
Fort Worth.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he lives about a mile away from the headquarters of his job, which is BNSF Railroad. So that's,
Okay.
yeah, corporate headquarters where he's close to.
Where do you fly into?
We'll fly into Dallas, DFW.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. My daughter lives about an hour southwest of Dallas,
Okay.
in Weatherford.
Okay.
And she was down at the fort for a long time. Here he comes.
There's Pete.
I thought everybody from Texas was coming to Atlanta this weekend to see the big game,
Oh, is there a game on in Atlanta this weekend?
the SEC championship.
Yeah, well, it's not important. So,
Unless you're a fan.
yeah.
And it is.
Hey, look,
Hey,
Pete.
Pete, how you doing?
I'm good.
Hey, you
Peter?
gotta stop scaring us like this.
We
Yeah,
want to know
you.
whether
Yeah,
it's just
you.
an excuse to get out of lunch with us.
I scared the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ended up in the ER all night. God, that was a horrible situation. You know, they don't let you sleep in the ER. They just keep making bings and bongs and poking you.
Hmm.
No, it was horrible.
Well,
But thankfully,
What did they finally figure out was the problem?
they didn't. They thought maybe I was dehydrated and I had a cortisone shot and I did another COVID shot that day and hadn't eaten and they thought maybe I just passed out from that and at at first they thought I had an electrical problem and might need a pacemaker, but that didn't prove to be the case.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I'm very lucky, very lucky.
yeah.
Now you can come have lunch with
Yes,
Mark.
absolutely, absolutely. I can take my
Yeah,
fat little body that's gotten a little overweight and come down there.
Well, Gary and I were discussing whether we should come up to you.
Oh, well, yeah, you're always welcome here. We have plenty of room here at the house. And I have an extra couple of bottles of wine that we could open up and figure it out.
Uh-huh.
It sounds like a plan to me.
That's
Yeah.
not the kind of hydrated they want you to stay on, Pete.
Herb, you sure of that?
Herb, it doesn't help, but it makes it so you don't care.
Hey, Morris, I saw that video with Dave Brock. He just didn't look good.
No,
Right.
he doesn't.
What's
I
wrong with
I actually trimmed part of the very beginning of the video, not because he was saying things I didn't want anybody to see. It just, um, it didn't need to be there. And he's I think he feels he's kind of on his last legs. That was his comment.
Well, you know, I hate to say it, he looked like it.
Yeah, but
Who was
hopefully
that, Dave?
it seems to be primarily a circulation problem, and because he has the things on his legs to, get the circulation going, that and massage your legs constantly. and so forth because they're
Yeah, it
Who
looked
was
concerned
like
that?
about
heart
blood
failure.
clots.
It really looked like heart failure.
Yeah,
He looks
yeah,
like he's in the stages of heart failure, but
yeah. So let's, hopefully not.
Who was
But
that?
I don't know whether it'll be on tonight or not. My guess is probably not, but we'll see.
how are you doing, Herb?
I'm doing good.
I'm glad.
All things considered, doing good.
You went through a horrible time there.
Yep.
I'm sorry about
It
that.
was
Yeah. Steve, I
unexpected.
see you're
Very
back.
quick.
Yes, it's good to be back. I missed last week or last month, I should say, but it's good to be back and see my friends from Scott.
Yeah.
So
I assume you're in California.
yes, we got here about 2 weeks ago, about a week before Thanksgiving, and we'll be here for the winter and go back to Chicago in the spring, whatever time. I don't know, whatever she gets the tickets for. And we've been going back and forth between Chicago and here for 14 years now.
Well, good for you.
Well, it's getting a wear and tear on the old body, Pete. I'll tell you.
I,
It's you
I
run to
am,
the airport and you run to this and you run to that. Nothing is slow around the airport. Everything is in
no,
110 miles an hour.
yep.
Yeah.
I just drove up to Boston for Thanksgiving with my wife's family, and that drive is getting to be too much for me.
Yeah, yeah. The travel is it's not as easy as it used to be, but we're still mobile, so
Yeah.
keep doing this until we can't do it anymore because I
Yeah.
enjoy both places.
Yeah. Which one do you consider home?
I vote in Illinois and I pay my tax in Illinois. And can you
Okay.
imagine that? I mean, my choice is Illinois or California. So as far as tax, give me a break.
Yeah.
They're both pretty high, aren't they?
Yeah, they're both extremely high. You
Yeah,
put New York in there and you're about done. Those are the three highest.
yeah,
Boy,
yeah.
I'm going to have a glass of that as soon as I'm done here.
I think
I'm just, I'm just
Now,
going to be
Peter, what
on.
is it?
this is a Casanova de Neri, Tenute de Nova, 2016. Delicious.
I'll bet.
No, it is.
Well, I'm going to have dinner in about another 20 minutes, half hour, because
Okay.
it's 10 after 5 here. And
Yeah, well, it's a little later here.
yeah, yeah, you're right. Well, the sun's just going down here.
Yeah.
I can see it
Oh,
out the
lucky
window.
dog you.
Yeah.
What's the temperature there?
Well, today it was a little chilly. It was about 65.
Oh, you're breaking my heart.
Yeah. Well, that is chilly for here, but the water, the ocean keeps the temperature here pretty stable, you know.
What
But
part of California are you in?
we're in Ventura.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you
The
feel any
water,
aftershocks?
no, that was way up north from
Yeah.
us. So it
Yeah,
was
I
in
didn't know how
Far-
far down the aftershocks went.
No, we didn't feel anything. Matter of fact, we got the news here, and even in San Francisco it was minimal. So it's
Uh,
another 350 miles from San Francisco
Yep.
south to where I'm at. So no,
Yeah.
we didn't get anything.
Yeah, my sister's moving from Santa Barbara to Sarasota.
Well, Santa Barbara's just 20 miles up the road from
I
here.
know, I know.
That's it.
And the water is always chilly there.
Oh, it is. It's not a swimming beach. It's a lot of surfers here
Yep.
and fishing. It's a recreational other than swimming because the water is pretty chilly.
Yep. You need a wetsuit in there.
Yeah.
But she's decided at 81 years old that she's moving to Florida where I don't know. Where she could be on the East Coast and see her grandchildren and us a little
Right.
more. It's a little
Yeah.
harder to get to Santa
Yeah.
Barbara from
Right.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
you
and
guys-
that's why we're on the West Coast because I got 3 grandkids here. So otherwise I wouldn't be here either.
Yeah.
I
Hey, Val,
Yes, sir.
does everybody realize that next year will be the 60th anniversary of
That's
when
right.
Harm Scott opened up?
God, I didn't realize that myself until you sent that,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
email.
Yeah, 65. Yeah.
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 So,
Val, do they bother with Hiram Scott College anymore out there?
I mean, it's used for Nebraska's UNL Extension Office and State Patrol in the area there. That's pretty much what's going on with that
They still
facility
have
at this point.
what used to be Skinner Hall, I
Mm.
think, but it's
That's a veterans home. That's a
it's
veterans
a
home now.
well, it's a vet facility, but it looks similar to what it was in
But
'65.
you can tell it was there, but they've expanded it quite a bit, and
Yeah,
it's
Oh, really?
yeah, yeah,
yeah. Last time I
That's the one
saw
that
it was
looked like the
probably
hotel.
15 years ago.
Herb, you were there in the first term, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
Herb, Gary, myself.
Yeah, I
Barry?
came the first summer.
Barry was out there,
Yeah, Barry Bodine.
Yeah,
Sav.
Bob Luff.
yeah.
Sam.
I think Sam had planned
Sam
to
was
come
there.
on tonight.
Sam
I
Blade?
don't know
Was
what
he
he
out
said. He
there?
said he was coming on.
Was he out there the first term? When the
Yeah.
school
Yes.
opened?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Ed
I,
Parker.
I came the summer trimester of '68.
Uh-huh.
No,
Yeah,
you
that's
are
when-
young.
That's when I came. I came the same time, Val.
Okay.
Yeah.
In
You were there
'68.
before '68, were you, Pete?
I was told by Herb and Bob Luff, if I remember correctly, Herb, you correct me if I'm wrong, if I pledged in that summer class, and if I hadn't pledged in the summer class, you were the guys would have blackballed me.
You're lucky we even talk to you now.
I think I am, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Uh,
I thought you
Yeah,
were
I
out
had a
there
great-
before that.
It was a great experience being with all you guys. Great experience.
You're
I thought you
welcome.
were out there before '68, though. Is that when you
Yeah.
started? Was in
Pete, you were there, weren't you there in '65?
I
I
got
was there
there
in
in
65.
September of '65, the first, first
Yeah.
date open. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peter, what
Mhm.
about you? When did you get there?
I got there the first summer.
Okay. All right.
Was that 65?
Yeah.
66.
Yeah.
No,
I got there the
66.
first summer.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
the
opened
fall
in
semester-
October of '65.
Yeah. The fall semester trimester of '65, just after the summer is when it started.
Right.
And then I met Herb and Bob Luff, and Bob wanted to get rid of me as soon as possible. I mean,
Well, I don't remember that part, but
he didn't do a very good job, Herb.
no,
He's still hanging.
Poor Bob. That was a shame what happened to him.
Yeah.
Herb and Bob used to see each other quite a bit, I think.
no, just until we got married, and then we invited him over for dinner a couple times, and he and his wife canceled like 3 times, and we said, I guess they don't want to deal with us, and I really didn't see him after that,
That's too bad.
and I went in to get a haircut one day, and the barber told me that Bob had passed away,
Yeah.
and there was nothing in the paper, so I don't even know what caused it, if it was just one of those things or not.
Yeah.
Well, Barry, I've driven back from here to Scottsbluff and back. One in a car, me just driving when I brought my car back out there.
Wow.
Barry and I. Then we had 3 in a car with Bob Loft. We'd always pick him up. And then remember Tree?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Jim,
Tree, and this is in the back of Barry's convertible. And I forget who else. I think it was Ed Parker. There were 6 of us in a car coming home.
No.
yeah, Tree was
1,800
like
miles.
6'9".
Huh?
Tree was like 6'9", something
Well,
that way.
And you had 6 of you
I think
in
Ed
one
Parker's
car?
the one that stole my car one day.
Who
Didn't
did?
you drive a Tempest?
Who
I
stole it?
drove a '68 Tempest. I think he drove a '68 Tempest, but his key fit in my car. My key didn't fit in his car. And he decided, I'll just steal his car one day. And I came out of class one day to get my car, and it was gone. And about 10 minutes later, he pulled up laughing his head off. So
You thought it was pretty funny, huh?
he did.
Oh, God. There were so many different experiences there at that school. You
the
remember-
guys
you
used to the guys
go ahead.
used to show up in October or whatever, buy a car for $100 on the East Coast, drive it all the way out there. Then they play demolition derby in the parking lot and smash the cars totally up and then have them towed away.
Or sometimes they just pour gasoline on them and light them on fire.
Did you guys ever go cow tilting?
Go where?
Cow tipping?
Yeah.
No,
Cow tipping.
that's not a real thing.
Herzog took me out cow tilting. You know, when they're sleeping, you can push them and they'll fall over. Except the farmer will come out and shoot your ass. Yeah. You know, he was the only guy, I think, that I never saw him study. And yet, he always knew everything. He was smart and somehow he absorbed the information and got it done. But that son of a gun, every time, you know, movie night, we'd go to Mitchell or we'd go down to Vic's Pizza or pick a place. Herzog was just, you know, incorrigible.
Yeah.
I've tried to get
You
him
know-
on a call for years.
You know, Pete, in the first semester after the guy that started it all left, Herzog and Andy Hawkins, and it might have been you, I don't know, came to me one night in Skinner and banged on my door and said, "Come on, we want to talk to you." I said, "Okay, why?" And I said, "We want you to take over as president of Tke." And so I did. And then you guys gave me a rash of shit all the time. You would come to meetings. We had a rule that said you had to wear a tie to the meetings.
I
So what you'd
remember
do
that.
is you'd put a necktie on with not on the shirt, just around your neck
Hey, yeah, right.
and hang it out.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't remember that at all.
I
Well,
remember
Gary, you were sergeant at arms at that point or treasurer, and it was your job to contain him.
that. You contain the horde.
You gave up.
Oh, God.
And
We
there's
all
some
had a
good
good
times.
time.
Good times out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
But no, strange things. And Tamburini and the time they had a rule that you couldn't have guns on campus.
I didn't know
And
that.
yeah, oh, they did. And Tamburini and I and somebody else, I don't remember who the third person was, were in a car chase because Tamburini said so and so's got his guns and he's moving them off, and he was supposed to give them to Tamburini to lock up in this big chest in his room in Skinner Hall. And he was taking them off campus. And he said he can't do that. And we had a car chase, chasing him out in the country to stop him and take the guns away from him.
Well,
Did you
was
stop him?
Tamburini a proctor at that time? Morris was
He was head resident.
Oh, that's
Uh,
right. He was.
The reason he grabbed me as a resident is early on in the fall, I don't know, September, October, I was walking across the grass from one side of Skinner to the other in the courtyard. And he hollered at me and told me to get off the grass. And I told him to go fuck himself. And he came over a couple of days later and said, "How'd you like to be a proctor?" I said, "Okay,
That
it's
qualifies
free,
you, huh?
free room and tuition and so forth." So
I was telling my grandkids, because they're in the process of applying to colleges, and I said I was in the first pledge class. And I remember you guys coming to me one night and saying, "Don't say anything to anybody, but we're going to have a kidnapping tonight." And where we're dropping you off, there's reports of wild dogs. And we're giving you a 6-shooter. And you're going to have this pistol, but don't show it to anybody. And if you find a wild dog, you have to shoot it and bring the head back. And they said, "But you're the only sane one, so we're giving you the gun." So I said, "Okay."
You're the only sane one, huh?
That was a crazy class.
and it was probably true. There were only probably 10 kids from Nebraska that first year.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
I had heard at one time it was 4 and another time it was 10, but there was hardly any kids because at that point you could go to the University of Nebraska cheaper than you could go to Hiram Scott.
Really?
Yeah, and almost everybody that came, 99% of the kids that came, had either flunked out or been thrown out, or
No,
like Paul Hazel just changing colleges because it was time. But everybody came from another school somewhere under
yeah,
dubious circumstances.
no doubt. I wonder what happened to Paul Hayes.
Who knows? He's probably still in college.
Oh, God.
Paul, I remember used
Where
to
was he from originally?
Wasn't he
he'd get
from
a case of
Boston?
beer.
Huh?
Wasn't he from
That's
Boston?
my daughter from Texas calling. My wife will get it. He would get a case of beer on Saturday and go sit in the corner of the frat house and polish the floor and sit there and drink the whole case of beer.
Well, he and Hawkins could have had a contest.
How's
Yeah.
Hawkins doing?
Say that again?
How's Hawkins doing?
Not well. I mean, his wife has dementia, and I know he goes every day for lunch to try to help her, but I think he's a little depressed. When I was out in St. Louis, when my son was out in St. Louis working for Mob Entertainment, I would be in contact with him, and I'd see him or call him. I went to a St. Louis baseball game and I bought some paraphernalia from St. Louis baseball and sent it all to him because I can't imagine wearing that stuff at Yankee Stadium. Yeah, but
Wasn't Andy in South Dakota for a while?
Yeah, he
is
was.
now. Still
He
is.
was a college professor in South Dakota.
Okay.
I
Really?
don't
No,
remember.
he worked for Walmart.
Yeah, but he was also he's taught at a college there
He
in
did
South
for a
Dakota
little
for a
while.
while.
What was his major? What was he teaching?
I don't know his major was. I think he was teaching English
Fertilizer, I think.
at the college.
I don't know. But I do know he ended up at Walmart. He was a manager for the stores. And they
Yeah,
kept moving him around, and he ended up in South Dakota.
yeah.
But he, Herzog, and I and Sokola, we went to a Northwestern football game, and Andy picked us up at the airport. He was used to driving with no people on the road, but driving with people on the road, he was a complete disaster. He scared the shit out of all three of us. He was just horrible.
He would crack me up at the fraternity house if we were at a party and he'd lay on the couch with a can of Budweiser on his chest and sleep the whole night and get up and that can was still sitting on his chest in the morning.
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah, it was impressive
And
to
he'd
watch
finish
that.
it in the morning and get to the next one.
Oh, he'd
Yeah.
finish the one that was sitting on his chest all night.
God, he'd buy a case of that stuff and just knock it off. I just don't know how he did it. I'm surprised he's not an alcoholic. But he ended up all right. He has three girls, and his girls are good, and they show up, and they're helping him a little bit. But I think he was a little bit. I can imagine he's a little depressed.
Yeah.
Where does he live?
And somewhere, hold on. He's in South Dakota. I have it on my iPad. I can look it
Oh,
up.
he's still in South Dakota.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Absolutely. Well,
Was it Sioux City he's in, Pete?
I'm not sure. Bear with me.
The
Were
one
you-
time one summer I had a job up in Yegi, South
He's
Dakota.
in Watertown, South Dakota, 10 Dart Drive,
Okay.
wherever the hell that is.
What is the name of the town?
Watertown.
Watertown.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near Brookings, is it?
I just brought it up on my iPad. It's about to show it to me. It's showing me Watertown, but it's not showing me where the hell it is.
Okay. Because your dad and I had a big job up there in the irrigation field.
Yeah.
And this big rancher,
Yeah, it's
he had a daughter that was about 6'2", and she was monster. And I'll never forget, true, honest to God story. He came to me one night and he said, "If you marry my daughter, I'll give you the ranch."
Oh, man.
And I said, No, 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 no.
Oh,
I'm
that's
out of here.
I gotta tell you, well, Watertown is in the middle of nowhere. It's not even near Fargo, North Dakota. Yeah. And it's a long way from Sioux Falls. It is out there.
Yeah.
Rapid City looks like a 2-day drive.
Wow.
Are you sure you're not looking at Watertown, New York?
I am absolutely sure. I got it right here on my iPad.
All we can see is a white area.
I know. But
We'll
I
Well,
take
have,
your
Pete,
word for it.
I'm really impressed, Pete, with this high tech with the iPad and everything there. You know, boom, boom, boom. There you're in, man. See,
I'm
I
telling
don't
you,
know.
I've almost become technology proficient because I have a good wife.
Yeah.
Oh God, I am so bad. I have a son who knows, and my wife who knows, and I survive somehow.
Well, people like you and Gary married well.
Well, Sam really married well.
Because if it wasn't for your wives, you wouldn't be on here.
Yeah, Sam has
That's
really
true.
married well. I'll tell you, Sam Blade. Or at least as he describes it, because she supported him pretty well. It has a big job, as I understand it. I don't know what she does.
Dan Blades?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She is a senior vice president at, and I'm trying to remember, it's one of the big insurance companies
Hartford.
Yeah.
It's
in,
Hartford Insurance
yeah, Hartford. Yeah.
because that's where he lives in the summer.
Yeah. Well,
Before
yeah,
he
he's got a
goes to
house in
Florida for
Lavallette,
the
New
winter.
Jersey
Huh?
during the summer. He's got a house in Lavallette, New Jersey during
Yeah.
the summer.
Is that on the beach somewhere?
Yeah. Right on the
Yeah.
beach.
Yeah, he said she bought it because he
Yeah.
couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
Have you heard from him lately, Marsh?
Probably about 3 weeks ago, because I was trying to talk him into coming to dinner with, Pete and yourself.
We're gonna do that. I'm coming down.
Yeah,
And
but we got a
he's,
guy that keeps bailing out on us.
No, I'm not gonna be all right. I'm getting rid of the electric. By the way, I went down to Conshohocken. I have an electric car. And I have range anxiety. So I had to charge it at the King of Prussia Mall. I had to wait in line for a half an hour to get to a charger. And then I had to figure out how to use the gosh darn thing. It was,
Hey, Pete,
yeah.
how far is the Mercedes dealer from me?
Well, I would say.
but he's got a BMW.
Yeah, but
He's
the
got a
Mercedes dealer,
BMW.
I can charge it there. That's about 10 blocks,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a mile.
a mile and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm getting rid of the, I only leased it and they're giving me a new, a hybrid. So I won't be afraid anymore.
Yeah. Well, with a hybrid, you run out of electricity, you can go 12 miles an hour for long ways.
Now you have gas. You have a gas.
At his age, that's how he drives anyway.
Does anybody else have an electric car?
Oh,
No.
God. I want you
No.
to know, an electric car is like a rocket ship on 4 tires. I was passing a truck on the highway and hit the accelerator when I was doing 70. It went to 130 before I blinked. I said, holy shit. And I took my foot off the accelerator. I said, they'll arrest me, throw me in jail.
Couldn't catch you.
They are, man. See, Val, where you are, in the middle of nowhere, you could drive that thing across
Yeah.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get
Well-
Scottsbluff to Omaha would only take 30 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Instead of 7 hours and hour time change. Fellas, I gotta get going because I gotta get ready to pack to
All right.
head to
Val,
Texas
good to see
tomorrow.
you.
Where you
Val,
going,
Take care.
Val?
always a pleasure.
I'm going to Fort Worth to see my son. I only get to
Yeah.
see him about 3 days a year, so it's
Go,
time
Yeah.
to-
go, go. Enjoy
I
yourself.
understand that.
yeah.
Have a good trip.
I don't. All right, you guys take care.
Take care.
Take
All right,
care.
Enjoy
bye
your
now.
trip.
Say hi to
Thanks.
Texas.
All right, you got it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be bailing out too. I'm gonna Agnes calling me to have dinner now. So it
All
was
right.
nice to see everybody. Looking forward to next month and saying hi again. So
Well,
adios, guys.
Steve, go find a good bottle of wine and enjoy yourself.
There's one down in the where I'm having dinner. That's,
I had a feeling you might have one.
I do have one, and I will have a nice one with you. So take care, guys, and happy
care.
holidays.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
You bet.
Merry
Thank you.
Christmas.
Okay,
Happy New
bye-bye.
Year.
Be well.
Okay,
Yep.
bye-bye.
Well,
So Herb,
I hate-
regale us with the story.
Let me ask you, that was Steve. What was Steve's last name? 'Cause he's-
Durando.
Durando.
yeah.
Okay, he's changed over 60 years
And haven't we all, Herb?
for the better.
Let me ask you a question. On
Yeah.
your screens, does where it has the picture of whoever, all of us, in mine, on the lower left corner, it has the person's name.
Yeah, mine has people.
Yeah, but his only said
Okay.
Steve.
Yeah.
How do you get so I can put my name on that?
I don't know. You have your wife's name on yours, Gary.
Yeah.
Probably easier to change your name to Jeanette.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, are you using some of her
Yeah.
hardware?
Are you logged on as her?
You know, that is hers.
Yeah, that's why I'm
That's
getting
actually
her
her
name.
middle name, but
I'm
Yeah.
getting Herb's name. He's probably using his own device.
Right.
And Herb is very technology proficient.
Oh, yeah, right. I have
Yeah,
you.
you were an accountant. I'm sure you know how to use this shit.
I'm still an accountant.
Yeah.
You still
Here-
working?
Yeah.
you're still doing what? What? I can't even pronounce that word.
Working. Work.
What?
Work.
What?
Come on, spit it out.
Pete,
When we moved down to
it's
Atlanta.
Work.
When we moved to Atlanta, I wrote to some of my clients from Pennsylvania saying I'm moving to Atlanta because I wasn't really ready to retire. And I said, if you want, you can send me your tax stuff here rather than in Elizabethtown. And I guess I sent it to about 70 people. And I guess 60 of them sent me their information. I've been working on them for years, and I picked up a few clients.
Really?
And then I was working for a CPA firm down here, and the guy that owned it sold out January 1st of this year. And in March, I said to the lady that bought it, as of April 15th, I'm done. That I'm just getting old and tired and cranky.
What do you mean old? What do you mean getting old?
I was born old and I got older. And she said to me, she's not accepting my resignation. And I said, that's fine. Keep sending me the paychecks, but I'm not going to show up for work. And then she called me yesterday begging me to come back to work. And I said, no.
You needed help,
I
huh?
do my own, my 60 clients that I do,
Hmm.
but I don't work for her anymore.
Yeah.
You-
My
so you're gonna-
account,
You're going to still do the 60 by yourself.
Yeah, I always did them by myself.
Oh, good for you.
My wife said to me, how are you going to work for that guy during tax season and also have your clients? And I said, I'll worry about it as I have to. And it seemed like they all sent the stuff in at a nice even keel, so it was never a problem. It's not a problem now.
yeah.
And it gives me something to do in the winter.
My
I
accountant
think-
is 89 years old. And he used to he was one of Michael Jackson's original accountants. And as Michael Jackson got more popular and more popular and more popular, he gave up the account because he said it was consuming his entire account. And he
Yeah.
didn't want to be an accounting firm with one customer. So,
Well, I
but
thought
he's 89, still sharp.
I thought the weather in Georgia is supposed to be warmer.
Yeah, well, we had a high today of I think 45. Started out in the 20s.
Well, that's what it is in Jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I said to people down here, if I wanted it this cold, I would have stayed in Pennsylvania.
oh.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
How
I
far are you
remember.
from, how far are you from Roswell?
20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Wow. I might
You know,
have
Herb,
to,
that's one thing I could never get used to when I first went to Scott, and I'd ask somebody, they'd say, "I live in here. Oh, how far are you from, this place?" Oh, about 20 minutes, about an hour and a half. You know, or they'd say, "Well, what time of day?" Well,
That's
and I had no concept of, measuring distance, by time. And it took me a while to get used to that. Now I do it all the time.
it's
But
like here in Atlanta, you say to somebody, how far is it to get to Roswell? And it can be anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour and a half
or
yeah,
based on traffic.
with the traffic. Traffic down
yeah,
here is
yeah. Well, I'd ask people, how long to get in New York? What time of day? Same thing, traffic.
same thing, yeah.
Yeah, I was out seeing a client and an old friend of mine in Roswell. And I was going back to the airport and this poor gentleman, I called an Uber and he happened to be a person of color. And I'm looking out of the house and he's sitting down on the road. And I'm saying, I waved to him to come on up. And he said he was scared. Everyone carries a gun there. And he is a person of color. And he said it's just dangerous. And then I was talking to my friend, Margot, and she was packing a big gun. And I'm saying, what the hell are you carrying that thing for? And she said, we all carry guns out here. I
Yeah,
guess the South. Well,
yeah. Same thing's true in a lot of the Western states.
right.
Especially get out around Idaho, Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota.
Well, the
Same
I
South.
thing.
remember we went to school, everybody, there were a lot of guys driving their pickup trucks with the gun rack in the
Oh,
cab.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But when I was in the reserves and doing my active duty, I did AIT in Augusta, Georgia, down at Fort Gordon. And I thought it was going to be warmer. And I was down there, like the last 3 months, October, November, December. And remember being in a foxhole at night on maneuvers, and it was cold as hell. I was freezing. And I didn't think it was supposed to be that way in Georgia.
I
Yeah.
didn't either.
We've gotten down into single digits already. Now,
Yeah,
the difference is like in Pennsylvania, when it was cold, it would be overcast also. And most of the time down here, it's cold in the morning, then the sun comes out and warms it up. So it's not as bad as
yeah.
what it is up north. But
So how did you end up in Georgia instead of maybe Florida?
I had one daughter went to University of Georgia and one daughter went to University of Alabama. They both settled here in Atlanta and got married and had their kids. So the grandkids are here. And
That makes sense.
we said
Yeah, it makes sense.
sometime we're moving to Atlanta. And when our firm got bought out in Pennsylvania, first year wasn't too bad. Second year was in 2013 during tax season. I was coming home one night and I called my wife and I said, I'm so pissed off. I'm ready to go in there tomorrow and tell them I quit. And she said, you can't do that during tax season. So get through tax season, we'll put the house up for sale and then we'll move. So that's what we did.
Hmm.
Oh, you mean when you were in E-Town?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
we
we've been
figure
down
we're
here
gonna,
since 2013.
yeah. One daughter is in Texas and one's in Pennsylvania. They're both talking about moving to Tennessee.
Oh, God,
And,
no.
Hey, it's not any warmer in Tennessee.
I was just
well,
down in
no,
Tennessee. I
both
I
of
went
them.
was just talking to yesterday, the guy I used to ride a lot of motorcycle with up here. He moved down about 3 years ago to Greenville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, it's about 24 degrees in the morning up in the mountains.
Yeah,
I
I
was
think
just,
Greenville was where Dave O'Leary was from.
Really?
That was
Yeah.
South Carolina.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I was
Is that
just in
Greenville?
Tennessee. I was doing a whiskey tasting and ended up in Nashville. That is one awful place. I can't tell you. I don't know why anyone lives there.
It's all right. Well, we were pledging, we had to memorize all the Big Brothers addresses, and here it is 60 years later, and I can still remember Dave O'Leary from Greenville, South Carolina.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he ended up on Cape Cod somewhere, or in on the Cape, because I was supposed to go see him right before, unfortunately, he had a heart attack and passed away.
He was a
Vegas.
captain, wasn't he?
I'm not
Didn't he
sure.
have a fishing boat or something? He was a captain?
He did have a fishing boat. I didn't know he was a captain.
Yeah, that's my understanding. He had a fishing boat and he'd spend part of it in the south, and then in the winter or summer he'd move up north towards Cape Cod.
Yeah, he was up in Cape Cod, except, he was around it's like a big hook. It would have taken me 3 hours to get there, and I was up visiting with my wife's family, and it just got a little bit too much.
Was
Yeah.
up in Hyannisport.
Yeah, I forget it. My wife's family has a house in Falmouth,
Okay.
right near Woods Hole, if you're familiar. And his was, I forget exactly where, but it would have taken me 3 hours to get there.
Well,
And I should have gone, but I got lazy.
There's honesty. Yeah, what can you say?
Nothing. I said I got
You got
lazy.
lazy.
I got
Yeah.
lazy. Yeah,
I was in Falmouth in September.
you were.
Oh, yeah.
It's a nice town.
Very nice town. Yeah.
My wife now wants to sell my beach house in Delaware and buy something up in Nantucket.
Up in where?
Nantucket.
Oh, Nantucket.
Yeah.
up there, they only have one day of summer a year.
I think it starts July 10th and ends on the 15th.
You
Are
know,
you going to do that?
Am I going to do that?
Yeah.
I'm going to go up. If she wants it, that's what we'll do.
okay.
I'm too old to object anymore.
Pete, Maine is the only state or country in North America that I've never been in. I've been in all the other states in the United States. I've never been in Maine. I've been in Canada and I've been in Mexico.
Really?
I've never been in Maine.
I can honestly say the same thing. I've never been in Maine. There's got to be other states I've never been in. I just can't. I've never been in Utah.
Oh, yeah. And then you
Yep.
tell you, Bar Harbor, Maine is my favorite place for vacation.
Really?
Yep. Been all over this country, but Bar Harbor is beautiful.
Why
Along the
Bar,
coastline.
why Bar Harbor?
Bahaba.
Yeah, why that?
That's where they talk funny.
I know.
Yeah.
They think you talk funny. It's not them. It's you.
Me?
Me and you.
Yeah.
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 Don't you need a wetsuit to go in the ocean there?
What's that?
Don't you need a wetsuit to go in the ocean in Bar Harbor?
Basically, yeah. But they got beautiful beach right outside Cadillac Mountain, which is right 2 miles from downtown Bar Harbor. And it's really a nice place. It really is.
So you're vacationing with the Kennedys or something like that?
Kennedys are down in Massachusetts.
No. They're
Yeah,
up.
the Kennedys are in Hyannis.
Yeah. I
Hyannisport.
think Gary's right.
Oh, all right. Is it the
My
Bushes?
son-in-law.
That compound?
No,
up
it's more down towards where Falmouth is where the Kennedys live.
Hyannis.
Hyannis, yeah,
Yeah.
down in that area.
My father-in-law's house is right on that in Falmouth, right on the ocean.
Your wife's family?
My wife's family.
Yeah.
And the house hasn't been renovated since 1934. It certainly needs a little help.
Oh, there you go. There's your second career.
No. I offered that to do that back about 5 years ago when his wife became ill, and I was refused. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told him I'd renovate the whole place, put a nice deck in the back, and fix the kitchen and everything else. He said, I like it the way it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we go up to Chatham, Massachusetts.
That's beautiful there.
My relative settled Chatham, Massachusetts
Really?
in the 1660s. Yeah, the Nickerson family.
You're one of those old-fashioned settlers of the Pilgrims of something like that.
Well, I am also a descendant from the Mayflower
Holy shit.
coming across, yeah.
Wow.
And my cousin was a member of the Mayflower Society and all the other stuff, which is really tough to get into because you may have to go back and get stuff from
Oh, here
England.
comes John Archibald.
I'm barely second or third generation. I haven't figured out which yet.
Well, we used to have a lot of land in Cape Cod, and my
Really?
aunts and uncles years ago. We don't have it up there anymore. They all passed away in their
And
family.
now you're in Cherry Hill.
Well, I'm
Hello,
in-
John.
yeah.
Hey guys,
How are you?
good, good. We got delayed at the store and hustled
Oh.
back, and I couldn't get the computer going, so I'm on the phone.
Yeah, I can tell
How could you
Hi,
tell?
Herb.
because
John, how you doing?
if you look at his
Good.
picture, it looks like a phone. It's narrow and high.
Oh, it is narrow. It is narrow, but
That's the way it looks when you're on a phone.
at least he
Ah.
got his technology to work.
Hey, listen,
you turn
last
it-
month,
What would
Yeah.
be
Look
the
at that.
difference?
How's
oh,
that?
there you go.
Oh,
That's better. Now
really
Pete
He
good.
just
feels
rotated it.
I like the way you did that.
Yeah.
You learned how to
However,
use
I'm not sure he might have
and
frozen.
get the tilt in it.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, last month we had Mike Bollinger on.
Oh my gosh, that would have been great. Oh man,
He called in. He called in from Singapore,
No.
wow.
right, Gary?
He figured out the time difference and called in?
Well, it was morning where he was.
Yeah, he was 13 hours different
Wow.
because he lives in Hawaii.
Yeah,
He lives where?
Did he
In
go? Did he
Hawaii.
go
he
to
lives in
school with
Hawaii,
us?
but
Wow.
he travels.
It's 1005.
Good for him.
I knew his address off the top of my head, but no, he has he's lived out there 20 years.
I didn't
Were
know
you
that.
his big brother?
No, actually, he's from Audubon, New Jersey, right, which is
Oh.
about 2 miles from me.
I don't remember that name at all.
And
You don't?
Yeah, you
No,
were
I
there
didn't.
at the time, Herb. I think well, maybe not, but the pledges kidnapped him and me together. Herzog
No.
let him in the house, which was taboo, but he said, "Come on in and get him."
but no, then he got married and moved to Columbia, Maryland after Hiram Scott.
hmm
And then he stayed with the government forever. And he had some interesting jobs. And then when he retired, he had a small 1-bedroom condo out in Hawaii. So he just moved into that and then bought a bigger one.
Good for him.
Nice.
Yeah. So he travels the world. And that's true.
Is he retired?
Oh, yeah. Mike Bolger,
Yeah,
he retired from the federal government. And
he,
He
and I are
also had
friends.
he also had several condos.
Mhm.
Good for
You
him.
know, so he didn't retire on his government pension and do all that.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought he sold hammers to the government, and that's where he made all his money.
Are you just teasing there?
But he,
You know, hammers to the government could go for $80, $90, $100.
500.
Oh, excuse me.
hey, Pete, you were in the wrong business.
I was in the wrong business.
Pete, how are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm recovering from all my nonsense.
Oh,
I,
good.
I was at
Good.
I was at a charity event and passed out right at the table. Not,
Hmm.
it was not a good look. Right down, boom.
See, Morris,
Yeah.
you were right. Anytime he has to reach for his wallet, he comes up with an excuse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Herb. Thank
Yeah.
you.
He did that. He did that to Gary and I twice now.
Yeah.
Yes,
We're
yes,
thinking the
yes.
third time may be the charm.
No, third time it's gonna work. We're gonna I'm
Hey,
gonna
Pete,
some days.
that was the consensus before you got on when they said about you skipped out
Ah,
on
that was the
lunch.
consensus? Well, then it must be correct.
Hey,
Hmm.
Somebody said something about short arms and you
Sure.
couldn't reach your wallet.
And deep pockets?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, what can I
So what's
say?
going on? You haven't been on, John. What have you been doing?
Um, golfing, although now it's freezing here. I mean, 20s, high 20s. Shooting, I went shooting yesterday. It was cold, but outdoors, but I went. And no camping until the spring. So just enjoying.
You don't
What
do
are you
winter
shooting?
camping?
No, I have a Four Seasons trailer, but no, we go with all the neighbors, and they go 4 times a summer, basically. They go April, May, June, and July. And we'll go a week to 10 days each time, and it's fun, and it's good to be with a group that knows what they're doing. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good.
When you said shooting, are you hunting or?
No, just pistols, just, you work on your skills. It's just fun. I hurt my back over the years pretty bad, and so there was a point where I couldn't golf. And so when we moved here, I went, well, I'm going to try shooting. It's like golf. You can only blame yourself. There's nobody else to blame. And so I started shooting and really got hooked on it. And I'd never had a gun until I moved here. And then I started getting better, and now I can golf and shoot. So
Oh,
it's
that
nice.
your back is good enough to let you go.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
get injections to help that happen.
I understand that.
Yeah.
The night I passed out, I had a cortisone shot, and I guess I was dehydrated and didn't realize it, and boom,
Mm.
and I went down, and they laid me down and sent me to the ER for the whole night. It was a pleasant experience.
But at least it was something simple listening to your explanation.
Yeah, I think it was. Thankfully, they, at the ER they thought I needed a pacemaker, but I went to
Hmm.
an electrical cardiologist, and he went over everything with me, and he said it looked like a one-off situation from dehydration.
Wonderful. That's good news.
Yeah,
How's
yeah, it was good.
how's Dave Brock doing, Morris?
He looked
Well,
terrible.
he's having a real tough time. The last time I talked to him, he was on the last video. But before it went on, he was telling me he didn't expect to make it. That was one of his comments. He said, "I don't think I'm going to make it much longer."
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "I think it's nearing the end."
That's
So,
sad.
It
yeah,
is sad.
yeah,
We're all getting to that point, though, John.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
well,
But I'm good with God, and when He calls me, I'm ready, and I'll just keep doing the good I can do right now here, and
yeah,
rest will take care of itself.
That's
yeah.
how I feel.
Good.
That's how I feel. I try
But
to.
at least right now, I think the five of us are all relatively healthy.
That's
Yeah.
it.
I
Yeah,
know
within reason.
Did anybody see Andy's memorial?
Yeah, the blib that got sent out, I think by Morris.
Yeah, I set it out.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I couldn't get that get that up on my computer. Maybe it was my own incompetence, but I felt
yeah,
bad about Panda. And
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No, it was nice, and they had somebody. I don't know who it was. I don't remember, but they had somebody read all of our comments,
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah, Sokola told me that.
yeah, yeah, and
He said they read all our comments except his. That's what John told me.
Uh,
yeah. So it seemed to be a nice service.
Yeah,
oh, that's good.
Sokola's having some trouble too, by the way.
Who is he? Who?
what's wrong?
He can't walk. He can't. His back is so bad. His knee. He had a knee replacement that didn't work. I don't know. On and on.
Who was this?
Sokola.
Oh, Sequoia.
Yeah.
He never gets on these things, does he?
He's been
No,
on.
usually he is.
Yeah.
He hasn't been on the past couple, but
I'll have to
John
call
used
him.
to be a regular.
Well,
Mhm.
he has the grandchildren down in DC or outside of Washington somewhere. And he's traveling back and forth because his wife says so.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and catch up with him. Just after the first of the year, my granddaughter is going to a softball clinic out in Pittsburgh at the
Wow.
University of Pittsburgh. They invited her out, and
Good.
so she's going out. So I think I'm gonna hook onto it and go with her and her mom and go out there and maybe I'll go get a chance to go see John.
You
That'd be
have his
nice.
contact information, I assume.
Did your
Pardon?
grandson play
You have his
golf?
contact information, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. As far I think I have it.
I speak to him about once
Not,
a
I'll
week.
contact you.
I speak to John weekly, pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, John and I have been close for a long time, and uh, I hope we never lose that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's special.
It is special. It's Burrell that I haven't been able to get a hold of. I don't know what the hell happened to him.
I miss him on these. He
Yeah.
was on in the beginning for quite
Yeah.
a few.
Yeah.
I'll give him a call and see if I can push him a little. But I've been trying to push Herzog and Burrell, and I've had no success. Maybe
Well,
you
thanks
guys,
for trying.
yeah, well, maybe you guys should give him a call. But I haven't had a lot of success,
Hey,
unfortunately.
Pete, have you heard anything as far as Dan Ulmer?
No, not
He
a
was
thing.
because he was gone. We were talking about it earlier. He was going to get on, and it was the next meeting he was going to get on, and
Yep.
I had contacted him. We'd had some conversations, and then he didn't get on. I haven't heard anything since.
No. Hey,
Hope he's
John,
doing okay.
do you get a lot of snow out there, John?
No, we're kind of in a sweet spot. If we got 4 inches, it'd be like snowmageddon to these people, you know. You get an inch or two and maybe 4 times, 5 times out of the whole winter.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have thought you got a little more
Yeah.
than that.
John, have you been to Idaho Falls?
No, but they get it there, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I lived in Idaho Falls for 2 years, and they have a canal system throughout Idaho Falls. The Snake River goes down through town, and then there's a whole bunch of canals. And during the winter, they'd get a lot of snow, and they would close school because you'd have to go help sandbag the canals to keep them from coming over. And
Oh,
they'd have
wow.
guys in boats on the canals pushing the ice chunks that would come through to keep them from knocking out the bridges.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
You know, the coldest I was ever in was in Idaho Falls. It was 49 below one morning.
Oh my gosh,
And
Morris.
I had a 52 Chevy 6-cylinder car, and it started right up.
Oh,
And
come on.
instead of going to school, I drove around jump starting cars for $2.
Well, you know, it
Sweet.
wasn't exactly warm in Scottsbluff, Nebraska.
Yeah.
You know,
That's cool.
we used to get pretty cold there in Scottsbluff too, if I remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
windy.
I can remember in Scotts Bluff, I think it was the first year we were out there. It went down to like 0, and then it stayed below freezing for over a month.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a long, long cold spell.
It was cold. It got really cold there, and the wind was really brutal.
Well, there was nothing to stop it.
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
No. So Herb,
The first year we were going out there, my dad called me in the house and he said, I just saw Scotts Bluff got, I forget how many inches of snow. And this was Labor Day.
Oh,
And he said, are you sure you want to go out there? And I said, yeah. How bad can it be? It wasn't that terrible.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, but John, you moved up from California where you only had sunshine and warm weather.
That's true. But I grew up in Chicago
Oh, I
and
forgot that.
I left there at 27. So, I mean, I was used to big snows and cold and lakefront and all that stuff. But yeah, California for over 40 years where you could golf year round.
Yeah. Oh, you're a real golfer, huh?
No, but I liked it.
No, I meant you're addicted to the golf club.
Yes, yes.
That's what I
Yeah.
meant.
It's
I
my
didn't think
weakness.
you were challenging Tiger Wood, but yeah,
You know,
but you really enjoyed it.
Yes.
Good for
you know,
you.
John, I once commuted to Chicago for a year, out Monday morning and back home to Jersey on Friday.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah.
That's
For
what I
what?
think.
And I'd stay at the Palmer House because I worked for Continental Insurance and
Big
I was
company.
CIO for claims
Oh,
claims systems. And they decided that I was one of the 5 people that they had to get to move. And I said, I'm not moving. My wife is still working. She's not ready to retire. So ultimately, I agreed to go live in the Palmer House
nice
and
place.
during the week and come home on Fridays. And I did that for a year and then notified him, no, I'm not moving. This is silly. And fortunately, the president of their global runoff division found out I was leaving, and she was still in Jersey, and she hired me. So I
Oh,
was able to stay
nice.
with CNA and
Yeah.
continue on with them until I retired.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Oh, nice. Nice
it was.
company.
I'd fly out to O'Hare and grab the train and go in and get off and walk over to Palmer House, and you know,
Those
it may
winters got
sound
cold.
glamorous. It was not.
Those
Yeah.
winters got cold with the
Yeah.
lake and the wind.
Yeah.
We were
Well,
driving back
CNA's
to school
the one
one
that had
time.
CNA's
We
the one that had
stopped.
the ice fall off the building one time and kill somebody.
Oh
Oh,
God,
I don't remember that, but
Yeah, yeah,
that's called the wrong place at the wrong time.
what
yeah.
were you saying, Herb?
We stopped at Bob Stebbins' house one time on the way back to school, and
Park Ridge.
his dad gave us the key to the Playboy Club, and we went down there to have dinner and drink. And we came out of there, and there was a building across the street that had the temperature up on top of the building, and it said -15. And I said, "This is cold."
Yeah.
Where's,
They'd get that
where's
lake coming
Stebbins
off.
now? Is
What's that?
Stebbins down in Atlanta or somewhere
North of Atlanta.
north of Atlanta?
You know about seven?
He used to come on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was on last month. I don't know what he's doing.
I thought Sevens was in the Carolinas, but obviously I'm wrong.
We got Sav there.
Yeah,
That
now
where he
he's
ended
down.
up.
North Carolina.
And Turando, he's probably in California right now. He comes on once in a while, huh?
Yeah, he was on earlier.
It's just on.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah, yeah.
Good man.
He said something about wanting to eat.
It was time for dinner and a glass of wine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 hour difference. What time is it where you are, John?
I'm 2 hours before you guys.
Ah. Okay.
In California would be 3 hours.
Yeah, right.
right.
Right. So you're
No.
pretty early.
We're Mountain Time, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, 7:04.
right. Did you have dinner yet?
I munched a little, but we were doing some shopping because we're having a party tomorrow with Boise State playing Arizona State in their bowl game, in their big game. So Eileen wanted to make sure we had enough wine and salad and
did.
food, and so we were out shopping.
So you,
Hey,
you
let me
had
ask.
the party at your house.
Yeah, yeah.
I hope
Let me ask a quick question. The next, Thursday is January 2nd. Do we want to have one of these January 2nd, the day after the 1st? Do we want to move it to a different month or do we want to skip? I mean, do a different week, or do we want to skip?
I will be out of town,
Where are you going?
Washington.
Hey, Columbo, settle down.
Gary, Gary, you haven't
better
heard.
not push
Gary's
it off to a
getting,
different week because no one will remember.
Yeah.
At our age, we're lucky we remember first. The
No, I
first.
remember because I get these emails from Mark.
yeah.
Yeah. Why don't we skip to February?
All right. All right. I think that probably makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
Gary will be a cabinet member by then. That's why he's going down. He's been asked to
I
come
wouldn't
off.
want to take the pay cut.
You wouldn't? Other than Herb, is there anyone else here still working? I guess
I don't
not.
know.
Right.
Well,
I keep
I'm working
telling
as
you,
many
never worked,
hours
I can't
as
pronounce that
when
word.
I was working.
What'd you say, Herb?
I said, you never worked. You had your staff doing all the work.
I had a great staff, really did. The worst part of selling out your business is I stayed for a year and a half or 2 years and I said, I am really not a good employee. I
So you
am
fired
not.
yourself.
I did. I finally fired myself. I got a call from the guy I brought on, David, and he's having a lot of trouble because he and I worked well together. And David said, I don't know if I can put up with this much longer. I said, well, do what you have to do.
Yeah. Pete, that happens often. The guy I sold my company to
Yeah,
worked for me for 12 years.
right.
And by a year and a half later, 2 years later, he had lost about 60% of the clients.
I'm
Mm.
sure.
And I mean, he knew what he was getting into. He never complained about it, but he called me once, I think last year, and say, "How'd you like to get back into it?" And I said, "Nope."
Nope. Yeah. So much of this business, my business anyway, I could say is relationship driven.
Yeah,
It's not about performance. It's not about
right.
anything other than relationships.
Yeah, and that's what happened here.
And that's what
That's
happened
what
with
happened.
me. Same thing.
Yeah,
And so I've moved on my account. I told a number of clients where I moved my accounts to, and they seem to be moving with me as if I'll take care of them, as if I'm going back to work. But I'm not going back to work. Not going to
yeah,
happen.
Good for you.
no,
You know,
no.
you get used to. Today, I woke up at 7, took the doggy for a walk, had breakfast. Before I knew it, it was 11 o'clock.
Yeah, big breakfast.
And the day just went zooming by, and I didn't
Yeah.
do anything. I never got in the car, never left the
Herb.
house. I don't know where the days go.
You still riding bike,
That's all I can say.
Pete?
Oh, I had to inventory my one.
You can't hear me.
Oop, Pete, you just froze. Yeah, Pete,
Well,
you just froze. We didn't hear anything you were saying.
Oh, I said basically it took me about 12. I got a wine delivery today, so I had to inventory the damn thing. So that took me at least 12 minutes. Yeah,
Herb wanted to know if you're riding your bike still.
no, not in this weather. It was 28 degrees and the wind was blowing. Now I'm on my Peloton right now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I have a Peloton downstairs and I have a, what do you call it, a pre-core thing? So I try to work out downstairs until the weather breaks. But as soon as the weather breaks, I'll be back on my bike. I used to be able to do 30, 35 miles. Now I can't do that anymore.
Well, take
Now
the
I'm down
car.
to 20, 23.
Take the car. Thanks, Sean.
Yeah,
What's that?
nothing. Go ahead.
I think I'm losing everybody.
We'll be here all day.
Frozen. Mm-mm.
Yeah, you keep
Oh,
freezing.
there you go. Is your phone working, John?
Yeah.
I don't.
Can you see me, hear me? You
I
freeze,
hear you
Pete.
now.
Yeah, you were freezing up.
Yeah, I think everybody's freezing. I think
Well, yeah,
yeah, I think it's the weather outside.
yeah.
It's pretty cold here. Pretty cold. Mars is now
I just
frozen
looked here.
right on my screen.
It's 31 right now in Atlanta.
He hasn't blinked.
So,
Oh, wow.
cold.
I gotta see what it is here. I don't want to lose you. I better not. I don't want to lose everybody. It's probably about 28 here.
Yeah, it's about today it was about 28 to 32 but the wind was like 20, 25 miles an hour. So the
Yeah,
wind,
that goes
yeah, the wind makes it feel colder.
absolutely.
Yeah,
In
we're about
Cherry Hill-
28 degrees.
In Cherry Hill, it's 29, feels like 12.
Yeah, and that's how it feels here.
But I'll tell you what, I just got my beach pass back this year because they changed the way they were doing registrations. And instead of selling all 8,000, tossed them out at once and selling out in a day and a half, they said, okay, we'll sell 1,000 a day for 8 days to be able to drive on the beach. And I got my beach pass back. So after January, I can go back out and build a fire on the beach
Oh, nice.
and freeze to death and maybe I'll catch a shark or a dogfish or a skate or something. But
You froze again, Morris.
that's because it's cold here.
I think everyone's frozen now.
I said that's because it's cold here.
Yeah, well, everything the cameras are freezing up. Yeah, I hate those cars though on the beach in Delaware. I wish they weren't allowed to do that.
I don't know.
Yeah, nothing I can do about it.
No,
So
Herb, you're awfully quiet.
I'm always quiet.
That's
you're
true.
always quiet.
Past my bedtime.
Yeah, mine too. So I'm gonna say good night and thank you guys and want everyone to have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And
Thank
you
you,
too.
Be
Pete.
healthy, everybody,
You too.
Yeah.
everybody.
because the
And when
list
I
of people
when I
not
wrap
making
this,
it's getting longer and longer. So,
yeah,
Yeah.
when I wrap this up and post it, I'll send out a note that we'll meet in February.
Look forward to it.
Okay.
Sounds
All
like
right.
a plan.
I always look
And-
forward to your emails.
Try and
Take
get
care.
Burrell on.
Be safe and see you in February.
All right, you guys. Be
All right.
safe. Love y'all.
take it
Take
easy.
care.
Take care.
All right.
Think I'm gonna go
All right.
rest.
Take care, Gary. Have a good holiday.
Have a wonderful Christmas and,
Yeah.
be safe.
Yeah, give our best to Jeanette.
Will do. Now.